Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time, we're going to be looking at how businesses are using ChatGPT in 2025
Yeah.
and, how they're using it to just make tons of money.
Yeah. It's fascinating how quickly this has all moved, from speculation to implementation.
Yeah, from, future to now.
Right.
And so the article that we're going to be taking a look at today is published just a few days ago on February 3rd, 2025.
Okay.
And it's a blog post in Portuguese.
Okay.
And the title translates to ChatGPT in Business Generates Exponential Profits in 2025.
Wow.
And so, I mean, that's kind of what we want to dive into today.
Yeah.
For anyone who's new to this whole thing, ChatGPT is like a super smart chatbot
Mm-hmm.
that can understand and generate human-like text. And I mean, the possibilities are just kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think one thing that really stood out to me in this article was the focus on automation.
Okay.
And it's not just about replacing humans. It's about helping humans work, smarter, not harder.
All right. Well, the article points out that a lot of companies are using ChatGPT to handle those repetitive, time-consuming tasks.
Right.
Things like generating reports, creating emails,
Wow.
even drafting contracts. It's like having a tireless assistant who can take care of all that grunt work and then freeing up the human employees for more creative, strategic thinking.
It's funny you say that because that makes me think of, my own work and how I spend, way too much time probably on things that a bot could handle.
Right.
But, speaking of things that get really interesting, the article also talks about how businesses are using ChatGPT to completely revamp their marketing.
Yeah, and what's really clever is how companies are using it not just to write marketing copy, but to actually strategize.
Wow.
So the article gives an example of this company that used ChatGPT to A/B test subject lines for an online course.
Okay.
And they basically fed the AI hundreds of their past successful campaigns and let it generate all these variations.
Wow.
And apparently open rates jumped by 15%.
That's incredible.
It's like having a marketing intern who never sleeps
Yeah.
and runs on electricity.
That's amazing. And I love how this technology is making these kinds of sophisticated marketing techniques accessible to smaller businesses.
Absolutely. The article emphasizes that this kind of AI-powered analysis used to be exclusive to, big companies with huge budgets.
Right.
But now, with tools like ChatGPT, even startups can compete on a more level playing field.
So it's not just about saving time and money. It's about getting better results, reaching the right people with the right message at the right time.
Exactly.
I am curious, though, isn't there a risk of over-reliance on AI for things like marketing?
Sure.
What happens when the AI gets it wrong or the data is flawed?
That's a valid concern, and it's important to remember that AI is a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used effectively or ineffectively. The article emphasizes the importance of human oversight and understanding the limitations of AI.
So it's about finding that balance.
Right.
Using AI to enhance our capabilities, not
Yeah.
blindly replace them.
Exactly. The most successful companies, according to the article, are the ones who use AI to augment their human teams, not eliminate them.
Right.
It's about collaboration, not replacement.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like this kind of, human AI dream team.
exactly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about humans and AI working together, each playing to their strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of collaboration, the article also talks about how AI can help us tackle that feeling of just drowning in data,
Oh, absolutely.
that we all experience these days.
Yeah, that's where the article gets really insightful.
Yeah.
It positions ChatGPT as this life raft in a sea of information. It can analyze massive data sets and pull out these key insights that would take humans forever to uncover.
Yeah. It's like having a superpower analyst on your team,
Yeah.
crunching numbers and spotting trends 24/7. I was particularly fascinated by the example of using ChatGPT to help with international expansion. Imagine feeding the AI market research, economic data, and even cultural trends, and getting back a detailed plan outlining the best approach.
Right. And it's not just about the sheer volume of data it can handle, though. It's about the connections it can make, the patterns it can identify.
Right.
The article mentions this company that used ChatGPT to analyze customer reviews and social media chatter.
Okay.
And the AI was able to pinpoint this recurring complaint about product packaging
Oh, wow.
that the human team had completely missed.
Interesting.
And by making this simple tweak, they saw a significant increase in customer satisfaction.
Wow, that's incredible. It really highlights how AI can help us see things from a different perspective. It's
Yeah.
not about replacing human intuition, but about complementing it with data-driven insights.
Precisely, and this data-driven approach extends to customer service as well. The article highlights how companies are using ChatGPT to create these incredibly sophisticated chatbots.
Yeah, the article mentions this chatbot that was trained to answer questions about software subscriptions. And instead of just spitting out these canned responses, it can actually understand the nuances of a customer's question and provide personalized solutions. It's like having a support team that's available 24/7, never gets tired, and remembers every interaction.
And what's particularly impressive is the focus on creating this human-like experience.
Yeah,
Some of these chatbots are so good you would never know you weren't talking to a real person.
but isn't there a risk of losing that human touch?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just want to talk to a real person who can empathize with your frustration or understand your unique situation.
That's a valid concern, and the article does acknowledge the potential downsides.
Okay.
However, it argues that AI can actually enhance the human touch by freeing up customer service reps to handle those more complex emotionally charged interactions. It's about letting the AI handle the routine stuff so that humans can focus on what they do best, connecting with other humans.
That's a really interesting perspective. It's
Yeah.
about using AI to make those human interactions even more meaningful.
Exactly. The article emphasizes that the goal isn't to replace humans, but to augment them, to create a more seamless and satisfying experience for both customers and employees.
Wow. It really does feel like we're on the cusp of something big here.
Yeah.
This whole conversation is making me think about the future of work and
Yeah.
how we adapt to these rapid, technological advancements.
Yeah, it's definitely a time of transition, and this article does a great job of highlighting both the opportunities and the challenges.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out to me was this idea that learning how to effectively use AI is becoming a crucial skill,
Okay.
not just for, tech professionals, but for everyone.
It's almost like knowing how to use a computer,
Right.
right? It's becoming this basic literacy that we all need to navigate this new world.
Exactly. And the exciting thing is that these tools are becoming more accessible all the time.
Hmm.
You don't need to be a programmer to use ChatGPT or other AI platforms.
Right.
There are tons of resources available to help people learn and experiment.
So what are some practical steps that listeners can take to start incorporating AI into their own work or businesses?
Well, the first step is to simply start exploring.
Okay.
There are free versions of ChatGPT and other AI tools available.
Mm-hmm.
Play around with them, see what they can do.
Yeah.
Think about what tasks you currently do that could be automated or streamlined.
Right.
There are also online courses and communities where you can learn from experts and connect with other people who are experimenting with AI.
I love that it's about embracing that spirit of curiosity and not being afraid to experiment.
Yeah.
Reading this article has been a real eye-opener.
Yeah,
It's incredible to see how far AI has come in such a short time.
it really is. And the pace of innovation is only going to accelerate. What we're seeing today is just the tip of the iceberg.
Which leads to the big question. What does this all mean for the future? What kind of world are we creating with this technology?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think it's up to all of us to shape the future of AI, to ensure that it's used responsibly, ethically, and for the benefit of humanity.
Yeah.
It's about having these conversations, asking tough questions, and being mindful of the potential consequences.
Yeah, this article has certainly given us a lot to think about. It's exciting. It's a little bit scary, but ultimately I think it's incredibly hopeful.
I agree. We have the power to use AI to create a better world. It's up to us to seize that opportunity.
That's a great message to end on.
Yep.
Thanks for taking us on this fascinating deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions.